everybody. Good to see you all. I'm lying. So all is white. I mean, right. In Martha's Vineyard again. Oh. It was a close one. After a frightening interaction with 50 happy migrants, the brave citizens of the rich liberal enclave handled the monumental crisis by calling in the National Guard and shipping them off to an Air Force base. But damn, Trump didn't even call in the Guard when cities were burning to the ground. And here they're called in for 50 migrants. But I get it. You know, what if somebody wanted to use the bathroom? And they'll probably want some food, right? A glass of water. We don't want that. So within 48 hours, those migrants were off Martha's Vineyard faster than a Kennedy fleeing a submerged vehicle.
Damn.
I know. They get away with it. They always get away with it. So they rejected the migrants the same way they reject giant turbine windmills that disturb their views. It's another liberal wet dream that exposed their hypocrisy. The Democrat motto should be, not in my backyard, unless you're there to rake the leaves. Yes, the proud sanctuary city, when faced with being a sanctuary, couldn't put up or shut up. So this was when the migrants showed up.
We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this island, and so we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people.
No, wait. And now this is them when they leave. Oh my goodness, same lady. Adios, amigos. Don't let La Puerta hit your ass on the way out. What a compassionate town. And the media agrees. According to CNN, the migrants left an indelible impression on their accidental hosts. And why were they accidental? Because the hosts actually didn't want them there, you idiots. Man, when it comes to reporting on liberal behavior, CNN can turn into butter. Don't try that, Steve. I know you have a cookbook. And as far as an indelible impression, it's the people of the Vineyard who left one. And it's what phony racists they were. I've seen bird sanctuaries happier to take in cats. They enriched us, says the locals, after the migrants spent just 44 hours there. And I guess that's what you do when something enriches you. You tell it to leave. You're happy to let them work there, but not to live, so get them out. Here's DeSantis. I wonder if the president is scrambling to get his cabinet together.
The president is scrambling to get his cabinet together. He didn't scramble to get his cabinet together when you had 53 migrants die in some trailer in Texas. It's only when you have 50 illegal aliens end up in a very wealthy, rich sanctuary enclave that he decides to scramble on this.
I got to hand it to DeSantis. He did more than any politician on furthering the conversation on immigration. And who's the party that always says we really need to further the conversation? It's always the Dems. Although their idea of conversation means sit quietly while I scream at you. If you want conversations like that, you might as well marry Kat. But DeSantis said, if you're a sanctuary city, then be a sanctuary city. So there's your conversation, you hypocrites. So the media, flummoxed when their own phoniness is exposed, threw an incoherent tantrum.
Leaving some migrants on a literal island that doesn't have any infrastructure designed to help them at all. It's inhumane.
Fascist Republicans are trying to ship migrants around the country to make them suffer to troll the libs.
Here is short Ron DeSantis and, frankly, Greg Abbott and Doug Ducey. We hate immigrants. Get the F out, and we will help you get the F out.
Well, who sent them the F out? Of course, for them to be angry, they have to forget Biden had been sending migrants by plane at midnight all over the damn place. But you can't blame that on a Republican, so why report it? So finally, here's the solution to their lies. Spread the challenge around and include the states who brag about their sanctuary status. Look, we're all in this together, right? Whether you're a struggling farmer on the Texas border or a struggling family like the Obamas. That 29-acre state's not going to landscape itself. So why is everybody so outraged? They think they're better than you. They're exempt. They have no masks at parties, but you wear them. You can't have a gun, but they got private security. They love alternative energy, but that windmill better stay in your state. Everything they pretend to rail against, they embody. Oh, they love migrants with their leaf blowers, mainly because the tools they use are so loud, it gives them a perfect excuse not to talk to them. Ooh. Former New York Governor David Patterson said it best. These jerks are just like the white libs who opposed integration way back when.
They were progressive, they were liberal, but they didn't want anybody moving into their neighborhoods. So it was someone else who was going to have to live with the African Americans or the Hispanics who moved into those neighborhoods. So you kind of see history sort of repeating itself 50 years later.
So they call themselves progressives, but their behavior is regressive. They call Texans racist for moving migrants, then they do the same thing. They believe they're the compassionate ones as long as they don't do anything about it. It's not like they think these migrants are trash, or do they? Well, here's a tweet comparing migrants to trash. And who's doing it? Liberals. Not extreme MAGA light, which is still only 70 calories. But the worst part about all this, James Taylor is still singing.
Hey, migrants, don't be so withdrawn. People will pay you to take care of their lawn. Come on down to Martha's Vineyard. The season's over, but I don't think you guys care about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo!
Yeah. Clap. Now, no one in a sanctuary city really believed they had to walk the walk. That was just for you lowly types in the border states. The media plays along because they all hope that one day they will live in Martha's Vineyard too, away from these unwashed masses like you and me. I'm unwashed. It's the same media who love a good stunt when it nails Republicans and now finds this shameful. And they're right, it is shameful. The border states brought shame to those who express outrage now when they didn't seem to mind the death and suffering created by their own policies that protected their love for cheap labor. The hypocrites are more upset by being exposed than the real suffering they caused by their false virtue signaling. So don't let them shame you for starting the conversation that these phonies never wanted. Instead, here's another Spanish phrase for all you libs and media types that you might want to learn. Besa mi colito blanco.